Morning. I'm doing up this video to assist the leadership team and the director consultant to prepare the chapter goals when a new term is taking over from the current term. Why do we need to do that? Because it is part of the requirement where chapter new leadership team will plan for their upcoming goals based on the performance of the current months. And the BNI Connect already has a feature built in where it allows the chapter director consultants and the leadership team to work together to plan these goals month by month ahead and also monitor the progress and the performance of the chapter and tweak the mechanism to help the chapter moving on. This is an exercise that the director consultants have to do together with the leadership team before 1 to 2 months before they take over the new term. So it happens probably somewhere in February, March before the April term, somewhere July, August before the August, September before the October term. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Let's get into Chrome and I'll show you as the director consultant doing the goal planning together with the leadership team. Okay. So first of all, log into your BNI Connect account as a director consultant. First thing for director consultant to do is actually to select the right chapter that you are going to manage today. So because some of the director consultant, they manage a few chapters at one time, so please choose the right one. For today, I'm going to choose BNI Abundance. Okay, so I make sure BNI Abundance is selected. Before we go into the chapter goal planning, okay, we need to know actually the performance of the chapter before the goal is being set. If you do not know the performance of the current chapters, how they are doing, how is it that you can actually plan a new criteria or new KPI? So first thing, we generate the chapter traffic light for February 2020 or March 2020. Very simple. You go to reports, go to chapter, and we scroll down for chapter traffic light. And we select the month of March 2020. In this case, I'm going to use March 2020 as I'm going to plan for the takeover of the new term in April 2020. So this is the chapter traffic light during March 2020. And what we're going to do is going to export this to an Excel file that's listed here. We need to prepare a second item. The second item is actually a summary pumps report. Summary pumps report for the chapter performance for the month of March 2020. How do we do that? You scroll up. There is a summary pumps report here. Choose the beginning of March to the end of March. And you click go. So this is the performance in pumps report, the performance of the chapter in March 2020. Let's export these figures as well. You realize there are some figures we need from here for you to have understanding the performance of the chapter to key into your goal setting. Now let's go straight into the function where the chapter goal can be set. It's under operations, under chapter, under manage goals. Here we go straight into enter chapter goals. You select the month that you're going to plan from. In this case, it's April 2020. Here you can also work with the leadership team and come up with your chapter long-term vision and your chapter's mission statement. This is something that the leadership team can work with the director consultant to come up with a specific goal where the chapter can work towards to. Okay, this is the page where you enter the chapter goal. What we're going to do is actually to write down the goals that you and you as a director consultant would like to work with the new leadership team to achieve. So let's see this first column here. First column here is for goals and the attendance percentage. There is a few criteria that is in this goal setting. You notice it is attendance percentage, total number of one-to-ones, CEU, visitors, new membership, number of members in the chapter, and number of referrals, and followed by thank you for closed business. So what we're going to do now is simply to pump in figures that you and your leadership team would like to achieve in the new term. How do we know what numbers to follow? We look at the chapter traffic light. Let's take a look at the attendance. Now, if we look at the chapter traffic light for this chapter in March, okay, for abundance, they have 3.45. That is to say their absenteeism is less than 10%. Less than 10%. So actually, absenteeism of less than 10% is not too bad. But for a goal, maybe the percentage that you want members to be present should be around 95%. Okay, 95% of the members to be present. Now you can go on and plan the goal that you want the chapter to achieve. Now members, please do not, director consultants and leadership team, please do not worry. You do not need to make this number keep going up or going down. You can maintain at a certain number. It is a goal that the chapter would like to either reach or maintain. So I would like this chapter to maintain a 95% attendance rate. So I will put in 95 for all the months. Simple numbers. Next, let's talk about the rest of numbers before we talk about the mechanism. One-to-ones. How do I know how many one-to-ones did the chapter did during March? Well, we use the chapter pumps report to take a look. So as you can see from this report, there is a one-to-one, and the date taken is actually for the month of March. So one-to-one, you look right at the bottom. Basically, this chapter did 171 one-to-ones in the month of March. So what is the number that we should achieve in April 2020? Well, I was thinking maybe we set 200. We set 200 for April. And let's talk about CEU. The chapter did CEU of 186 units. I would think they should increase it. I will set 300 units. Visitors. This chapter did 11 visitors. Okay? But I think 11 is too little. Let's try to hit, okay? Let's try to hit 20. And new members, we try to hit 2 members, new members in April 2020. Number of members in the chapter, currently they have 47 members. And the numbers of referrals that they are supposed to do based on this number here, okay? Basically, referrals received is 102, 25 plus 103. That will give us 128. So 128 is the referrals received in the month of March 2020. I think we should push this number higher to 150 referrals. And thank you for closed business. In the month of March, they did about 180,000. Maybe I will set a goal of 200,000 then. 200,000. Okay, now we are done for the April 2020. What we're going to do next is actually to plan how you want the chapter to perform based on the subsequent months. So for example, we look at the numbers here. Total number of one-to-ones. Let's say if we are able to hit 200 in April, what should be the number in May? Same thing, I would say let's maintain. Okay, let's take a look at the CEU. CEU is not about maintaining. 300 may be too low. I will go for 350, 350, 400, 400, 400. It's a gradual increase. If my chapter can have 10 more trainings, it will definitely be better for the members. Visitors should be maintained quite high. In fact, numbers should go up. So let's put at 20, 25, 25, 25, 25. New members, okay, new members, let's set at 2 per month. That's fine, okay? Let's look at the number of chapters. I would like the member increment to be 1 per month. Realistic, it's okay. Let's put the numbers in and see how it goes. Okay. And the number of referrals, 150, let's push it to 200 then, and maintain at 200. Okay, and thank you for close business. I would like to keep 200,000 for every month. So now we have filled up all the goals that we would like the chapter to achieve for the next 6 months. What are all these mechanisms? Mechanisms are something that we can use to improve the performance of the chapter. So what kind of mechanisms can we use? Actually, BNI Connect gave us a very good tip, and that is here, chapter goal guide. From here, you can actually insert in mechanisms that the chapter can, the leadership team can use in order to improve the attendance, the one-to-ones, the CEUs, the visitors per month. So if we look at the list, I'm just going to choose a few and enter in. So we can actually go for this, acknowledge people for perfect attendance. So I can do that, mechanism 1. Okay, let's take a look at mechanism 2. Bring your sub day. Let's try this. Sounds interesting. Why bringing a sub will increase attendance? Because you need to be there in order to bring a sub. Bring a sub day. So let's say these are the mechanisms that we can slowly populate to the rest. So let's say one-to-one. How do we improve one-to-one? It says here that we can actually have a one-to-one contest. One-to-one contest. We can also have a business card swap. I like this very much. My personal favorite, business card swap. In order to be able to do a weekly presentation for a fellow member, the best way is to do a one-to-one with them, know their business, know their products, then you can do their weekly presentation. So moving down, let's say I populate all the mechanisms. These are mechanisms that the leadership team can use in order to increase the performance of the chapter. And with the goal all set up, I am done. All we need to do is to click on save. Now, at this point, you'll be asking, so what? Actually, BNI Connect is very, very comprehensive. At this point of time, it is actually calculating the differences in terms of the performance and the goal you have set. What do I mean? This video is being done in July 2020, but the goal that I set is for April 2020. Technically, the figures for May, June, July is already in there. So let me show you how does it look like in terms of viewing the chapter goal. So if you look at here, manage goal, there is a view chapter goal. At this point of time, you choose April 2020 because that is the goal, the starting month that we have set. Now, you look at this, okay, you look at this. You will realize that the figures are already populated for me. You notice the goals I've set is there, the one-to-one goals I've set is there. But the very, very powerful part is the figures of the performance of the chapter is actually input for us and calculated for us automatically. Okay, what does this really means? What does this really means? If you look at it, let's use number of referrals. I would like the chapter to maintain 150, and in fact I would like them to increase to 200 referral a month. Okay, a month. That would means equals to about 50 referrals a week. But you notice that in the month of April, the actual figure of the referral was 101. That is to say, we did not hit the goal. And as a director consultant, if we look at and if we monitor this chapter goal, we will be able to see where the chapter requires more help and which mechanism should we deploy in order to help the chapter improve. In BNI, we have a term for this called power of one. We can look through these different criteria and see where is the weakest point in this chapter, and we can actually target that segment, and the DCs will provide the support needed to help the chapter improve. So DCs, please go through this exercise with your chapter so that you have a very big bird's eye view of how your chapter is performing. You can look at the numbers, and I personally look at this number. I know for June, my chapter definitely is not hitting the goal I would like them to achieve. And this also will tell me where I need to work with my leadership team and inform them how to improve and what are the things to do. So DCs, do remember, get familiar with doing chapter goals, because September is coming up. You need to start planning your October team, and your October team needs to do this chapter goal setting together with you as well. So for today, I will end my video, and director consultants, if you have any question, please do come to me and we can discuss about this.